how to make the most out of uni. I keep overthinking that I'm wasting my time here. Missed a period for 6 months. Getting a lot of questions about long distance relationships. Have you been balancing everything without getting tired? Why did I do that? I definitely don't feel good every day. When you write it out like that, it is kind of a long list. It just opened my eyes.
You showed me how to dare love, so tell me what you're thinking of.
Hello, welcome back. It feels like so long since I filmed a video, even though I just missed one upload, but I think in general lately, sorry to dive straight into the deep topics, I've just been feeling a bit disconnected from social media, a bit lost, a bit unsure of what to film, the direction that I want my channel to go in, and I think because of that I just needed a week off last week. I went to Italy with my friends and I thought a good way of feeling connected again and getting back into the flow of making videos. Sorry about the noise, there's a massive army helicopter literally going straight past my window, like it's actually concerningly close. As I was saying, I thought a good way of just having a catch up was to do a Q&A and answer some of the questions that you guys have on Instagram, because I feel like a lot has been happening in the past few months for me. It's been a busy second half of the year and there's been a lot of things that I haven't really addressed and spoken about that I know you guys want to know and I would love to chat about, so that is what we're doing in today's video. Also, if you do have any requests for videos, anything that you would particularly like me to film, whether it's a new idea, whether it's something I've done before, then let me know and I'll try and do it. Okay, I feel like this is quite a nice question to start with. The best thing about traveling abroad and what has it taught me? So gonna kind of combine those two concepts into one, and in general I think the best thing that study abroad so far has taught me, and just the act of moving abroad has taught me, is that when you push yourself out of your comfort zone, anything is possible. And I know that sounds so cliche and cheesy, but even though I always knew that I wanted to move abroad, and I actually come from quite an international family. My mum is Lithuanian, my parents actually met on their study abroad year, they met in Germany, so I knew that at some point I would live abroad. I wasn't convinced on doing a study abroad year for a long time. I always imagined myself doing a placement year instead, but the more I thought about it and the more I thought about my life plan, I guess, I don't really have a life plan, but the more I thought about what I wanted to do in the long term, the more a study abroad sounded appealing. And honestly, I did not know what to expect from the whole process of moving to a completely different country, but I feel like by doing so, I have like opened the world up to myself, I guess, and I know this is a very privileged position for me to be in, and I'm very thankful for this opportunity. But yeah, I feel like it just opened my eyes in a way that they hadn't been open before, even though I'd always considered it. I feel like the act of actually pushing yourself to do something that is so unexpected and out of your comfort zone is great for your self-growth. And honestly, I have learned more about myself in the literally 2.5 months I've been here than I have for many years prior to this. The second question is, have you been balancing everything without getting tired? Work, YouTube, uni, relationship, and travel. When you write it out like that, it is kind of a long list. Trust me, I get tired a lot. Apart from when I'm traveling, obviously you can't really do this when you're traveling. In general, the thing that helps me balance everything is firstly having a routine, and then also helping that routine by time blocking and managing my time. I love time blocking on Google Calendar. I'm not really gonna go into an explanation of how to do it because this video is going to be so long if I do that. But yeah, go on Google Calendar and color code all the things that you want to do on a day-to-day basis or on a weekly basis goals and then literally just put them in on a calendar. It doesn't really matter if you stick to those exact times or not. I just do it in the sense that if I block everything in, then I know that it is possible for me to do that, at least, even if I don't actually get around to doing it. But also, I think a big thing is not putting too much pressure on yourself to do everything perfectly and to have a perfect routine. I think recently and in the past few years, I've just been learning to prioritize a lot more and come to terms with the fact that I can't do everything at once to the best of my ability. For example, today, I have literally just blocked this entire day out to film this YouTube video, to edit this YouTube video, and to upload this YouTube video, because this is supposed to go up tomorrow. So I have left that really last minute, which is quite hypocritical when I'm talking about time management, but I did only get back from Italy on Wednesday, so that's why. The next question, although it's not really a question, is talk about mental health and how you manage to feel good every day. The reason I wanted to address this one is because I definitely don't feel good every day, and that is completely normal, and I think everyone probably feels the same way. And the way that I am actually learning quite well to deal with it is honestly just to embrace that, not to try and change my mood and replace it, but just to actually lean in to those low days and those low emotions and try and understand why I'm feeling that way and just accept it for what it is, because there's a reason that you're going to be feeling that way, whether you can put your finger on it, whether you can't. Instead of placing this pressure on yourself to constantly feel amazing, to constantly feel good, to constantly feel productive, because it's not realistic. And I definitely put that pressure on myself, particularly in the first year of university. I think I definitely had this impression that university was going to be the best time of my life and I was supposed to feel really good every day. So anytime that I didn't feel good, I was like, why am I feeling like this? And I would instantly try and replace it with a feeling of happiness, but that is just not sustainable. This actually links quite well to another question I got asked, which is how to make the most out of uni. I keep overthinking that I'm wasting my time here. I wanted to answer this one because honestly, I think everyone feels the same way, because as we grow up, I think it's so natural for us to look back on things that we did a few years ago, decisions that we made, and just think, why did I do that? But that's not wasted time. That is you growing and learning as a person. And even though I cringe so much at the decisions that I made, I know that they have brought me to the point that I am at now and have allowed me to learn a lot about myself. And I think because of that, now I know more than ever what I do enjoy. I know what makes me happy. I understand myself a lot more, so I don't regret anything. And I know that's not the question, but in terms of how to make the most of uni, I think just having that understanding of what your priorities are and what makes you happy is so essential for making the most of it, because as long as you're doing things that make you happy, you're getting the best out of any situation, whether that's uni, whether that's anything else. And also, this might be quite personal to me and my situation, but I found that I actually get the most out of uni when I don't put pressure on myself to act like a stereotypical uni student, if you know what I mean. I think especially in my first year and my second year, I put a lot of pressure on myself to be very, very social, to try and literally be friends with everyone, to drink as much as everyone else did, to party as much as everyone else did, obviously before the pandemic. And now in my third year, I've come to the conclusion that that's not really what I enjoy doing. I don't mind it as a social occasion, I don't mind doing it every now and again, but as soon as I took that pressure off myself when I moved to Copenhagen of being a stereotypical uni student, honestly, I had a much better time just doing things that I enjoyed most. Next question is, are you apprehensive for going back to Leeds next year? Are many of your friends friends still there. So pretty much all of my friends are actually still back in Leeds because some of them did placements, some of them are doing a master's next year. So that's not something that I'm particularly apprehensive about. However, I think I am going to experience a little bit of a culture shock moving back to Leeds because I feel like now I'm very much settled in my way of life here in Copenhagen, and I've very much got used to the culture, and it's quite different to Leeds. Even though I'm so excited to see my friends again, to live with my friends again, to be close with Sid, I prefer my life here than I do in Leeds. But I also know that when I move back, I've learned a lot about myself this year living on my own that I am going to implement when I'm back in Leeds to still obviously make the most out of the experience next year, my final year, which is so scary to say. I've been getting a lot of questions about long distance relationships as well, understandably, and what the best way is to handle them. And so far, I honestly don't think it's been that bad, but I am in a very lucky position where I do see Sid about once every 3 weeks because that's just how we've planned it out. I've been getting a lot of questions about how I'm managing to see him so often, and it's because the flight from Manchester to Copenhagen is literally like an hour and a half, and it's very cheap if you're traveling during the weekdays and you're buying the ticket in advance. It's literally like 30 quid. Like, that is how cheap we're talking. And we basically planned out all of the times that we were going to see each other between, I think it was like September and December, and that really helps us because even though obviously we miss each other a lot in between, just having a date in the diary helps so much. And I don't know if this is just the time management person in me speaking, but like my friend Alyssa, she won't see her boyfriend till December and they won't have seen each other for about 5 months. But I know for her, just having that date in the diary where she knows she is gonna see him helps them so much. On a similar note, there's a question on how do you maintain old friendships and relations after moving abroad. I think I'm in a pretty unique situation where obviously I know that I'm only here for a year, so when I do return to Leeds, I know that all of my friends are going to be there, my family is still in Nottingham, so the maintenance is just keeping in contact with them until I move back. And there's no real magic trick to this, you do just have to make the effort to message them and FaceTime them. And also, if they can make plans to come and see you, then that's very nice because then once again, you'll have a date where you can actually see them. The next question is about a contraception update because in lockdown, I think, which is a long time ago, I spoke about contraception and my experience with it, and someone wanted an update. So I am still off the pill. It has been about a year and a half now, I think, but I have had such a nightmare in general in 2021 with my period and with contraception and everything like that. I basically missed a period for 6 months, and this is a big topic that I could do an entire video about, but it was basically due to the way that I was working out and the way that I was eating. It just wasn't optimal for my body, it was clear, and as a result I didn't have a period for 6 months and I've only just got them back. So that has been a big thing for me this year that I haven't really spoken about on social media, but actually it was probably longer than 6 months because I had to take a progesterone pill in about like July time, and I didn't get my first natural period till September. Okay, now for some quick questions. Halloween plans, because it's Halloween on Sunday and tomorrow I'm actually going to a Halloween party, which is very exciting. I'm going to another CBS accommodation and me and my friends are going as the emotions from Inside Out, and I am anger, not because I'm particularly an angry person, but I probably get the most frustrated out of all of my friends. And finally, a very random question that I found quite funny is, what's your moon sign? So I'm a Gemini moon. Take from that what you will. I'm not entirely sure what that really means. I like astrology, but I don't really know a lot about it. So let me know down below in the comments if one, you actually watched this far and whether or not I actually relate to a Gemini moon. On that note, I'm gonna end this video here because it's about half an hour long, but I hope you enjoyed this chatty update. Let me know if you'd like me to do more chatty videos like this, and also make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel down below and follow my social social media, which will be linked in the description box down below as well. Bye guys.